Hi everyone, welcome back to Thrift Stores and Coffee Shops. It's your girl Ebony, also known as your VIP bartender, serving up, coffee bartender. Just forgot to add that coffee back in there. Or tea bartender, we drink tea. Serving up the VIP topics of the century. Coming up 2024. Happy New Year, by the way. I don't know why, but I just felt like this season I've been more prone to do some of my podcast segments like on YouTube. And God did tell me, hey, you're going to be on YouTube, posting your podcast on YouTube. But I thought I was just going to do the audios, but I kind of started recording these videos like on my way to work. And now I'm coming from work and now I am recording another video. So I guess you're going to see more of that on YouTube. So subscribe, like, I don't know. If you don't want to, you don't have to. If you just want to watch the video, that's fine. But I actually wanted to give a heads up about, not heads up, but I guess, what's the word? Heads up wasn't the word. I got sneak peek preview, I guess, so to speak. And I'm very informal on this podcast, so just bear with me, those of you guys who are new. Hey, how you doing? And I did just cut my hair. I did it myself. Cosmetology 101. Trying to cut your own hair. That it worked out for my good, so praise God. Anywho, yeah, I wanted to give a sneak preview about the new podcast coming once I get. Okay, that just wasn't a lane. Why are you busy? God, I'm praying for my protection while I'm doing this podcast. Amen. Sneak preview. Sorry, I'm trying not to take forever and get to the point. I know a lot of people don't like people little chatty Cathys, and talking Toms. I want you to get to the point of what you're getting to, but like I said, it's informal, so I'm just thinking as I go, right? Anyways, I felt the next podcast, usually I get a prompting from God, be like, hey, talk about this. Like, okay, because I'll have a conversation with him, and then we're talking about whatever, and he'll be like, talk about it on the podcast. I'm like, okay. My story, my Atlanta story, my ATL story, God had dropped in my spirit like maybe last week that you're going to talk about your story of Atlanta, just the journey through the funny, the good, the bad, the ugly, the spiritual, all types of things. So this is going to be several different segments most likely, and I'll try to I probably should jot down everything so I don't forget anything, but I can try to kind of give you a brief overview of everything. So I was having dreams in 2013. Yeah, 2013, about these bloggers who were like pastors and ministers. After my friend had sent me a link of them and I started watching them, right? And so their ministry was very, very unique, and it was catered more towards a millennial generation, my generation, I guess, and younger, and even some elders. But their ministry was like a millennial ministry, and so they were living in Georgia at the time. God had called them there. In 2013, I started following the wife's blogs. So after doing all that, watching some of their content, I was still going to my own church in Washington State and all of the things. I eventually started having dreams about them, and so I knew that God was showing me them, and I was just kind of questioning, why am I dreaming about them? You know, I dream quite a bit, so I knew it was important that God was prepping me for something or getting me ready for something. Mind you, in between me dreaming about this stuff, God had called me to go to beauty school and all of these different things. So from 2014, 15, and 16, I was like in beauty school, pretty much. I started in November 2014. I was started almost, it was a year, but I graduated in 2016 of January. So that was quite a bit of time that I was in beauty school, like a whole year and some change. I graduated technically early in December, but I didn't finish rap until 2016. But I knew that after I started having those dreams, God had started speaking to me, and like more so 2016 was becoming more evident that I was going to be moving to Atlanta and to Georgia. I just didn't really know when. So I started kind of researching a little bit, and then looking at things and making a plan. I remember drawing up this plan. I went to like the library and I was like writing and typing and made out this plan. Okay, give myself 6 months to move, save up this amount of money, blah, 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 blah. But I didn't know, because I was like, at the time I was moving from this, working in this salon, into God opened up another door for me to work at this ministry. And so that was going to be the key for me to like get my money together so that I can move. And I had all these plans. So the job, God is so amazing. The job actually took care of everything, because it was a live-in job, which I had never heard of. I was a residential house manager. It was a live-in position, and I was able to save money. Wish I had saved more, but I was able to save money. And, you know, I started paying more on my student loans just to get that kind of down or whatever, and start paying on that, and, you know, taking care of the things that I needed to take care of before I launched out there. I did not have a place to stay. I did not have a car. I had given my car away. I was driving in my home state. God told me to give it away, so I did. I didn't need it where I was living at the time, and it had ended up actually getting stolen in 2015, and I got it back, but God told me to give it away, and so I gave it away, and I had no ties to the car after that. So then, and the job that I had, there was a provided vehicle because of the residents that were living there, so that was another blessing. And, you know, it wasn't my car, but I was able to use it when I did have some of the off times. Not necessarily for my own, but it was just a provided vehicle. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have my own car, so it was a blessing. God really opened up the door for me to get ready and prep to go to Georgia. So I was dreaming, of course, still about Atlanta while I was even at this job. I knew that God was calling me, and then eventually God gave me a date of September 25th, and this was 2017. So by the time 2016 had rolled around, I got this job in 2017, and I was preparing to move in 2017 in September. Did not have a job. So the month before I am about to leave, right, God gave me this. I was in my bed. It was really late, and he told me to go on the Instagram page of the pastors I was telling you about. They were having a conference. It was a singles conference, and God was telling me, kind of like, I'm like thinking like, God, okay, am I supposed to go to this? Like, I keep feeling like, okay, if I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're telling me to go to this page, there's something to this. Like, so it was a single conference. Didn't know they were having. I wasn't really like, I followed the ministry and I read the blogs and stuff, but I wasn't like, you know how some people are like immersed in it to the point that sometimes they kind of get too caught up in something and they start to idolize it. And that wasn't me. I was just like, when I felt led to go read a blog or something like that, or I followed, or I got connected with some of the women in the group or whatever, it was just kind of like that. But God was telling me to go to this conference. As soon as I hit touch at this conference, there were several people that were also called to move to Atlanta. And I was like, okay, God, this is even more confirmation, because right now I only have a month and some change to go. So it's either now or never, you know. So there was a young lady there, and we were talking, and we all exchanged information, a couple of us, and it was such a great time. I really, really, really really was thankful for that moment. So when I finally moved, which was September 25th, I think I touched down to 26. I had money for a hotel saved up, and I was going to be staying there until I found me an apartment. And so what ended up happening was, one of the young ladies who knew I had touched down was like, hey, why don't you come and stay with me? And I was like, are you sure? So this is how I know it was God, because usually you don't get your money back from a hotel. I got my deposit, everything back. Like, I paid for I think I was there for like 1 or 2 days. Maybe I don't remember how many days I was there, but I had paid for the first day, and I think I paid for the second day. I think I was there maybe 2 days. I don't know. And I was just like, okay, I had like literally like 2 suitcases, and that was it. Maybe a carry-on bag. I didn't have a lot of stuff, which was a blessing, because I left everything behind and put some stuff in storage. I was like, I'm out. Love you, mama. Bye. And my mom came with me to the airport, and that was a blessing too. So it was just so much to happen, and God was just like blessing me on the way. And so I ended up staying with her for about 2 weeks, maybe 3. And God told me to give her the money that I had, the cash that I had saved, whatever, for that hotel, at least for that week. And I ended up dropping it up on her, and I was like, hey, here, this is what I'm giving you for staying here. Appreciate you. You know, I cooked a little bit for her, helped her clean stuff. She had children. It was a beautiful situation for then. And then I was waiting to had applied for my apartment, eventually got in, which seemed like it was taking forever. I felt like I was struggling a little bit just because I'm just like, God, this is Georgia. The jobs don't pay that well. I thought I wanted to be a substitute teacher. That changed very quickly. And so there was that. You want to follow for more and hear more about this story, feel free to go to Spotify and type in thrift stores in coffee shops. I'll leave the links below and we'll talk more. So you'll get more. The more you get talking, the more you'll know. So the more I get talking, the more you'll know. So yeah, so we'll just keep it at that way because I don't have a lot of time on this one to talk anyway. So but I just wanted to get you started, at least on this Atlanta story. So much more to come from that. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.